So hey guys, we're going to do a little push here. We're going to try to get the garden wrapped up here. We're going to go pull the truck around. We're going to harvest some sweet potatoes. Maybe we'll pull some carrots. And let's see what else we got left in there. We got peppers. And another batch of tomatoes here. So we're going to try pushing, getting the big bulk of the stuff out of the garden here today. So this is our first year doing sweet potatoes. Not really quite sure what to expect. I've been watching a lot of other channels over the time that do a lot of sweet potatoes. Off-Grid Doug and Stacy, I've talked to him, and he's always talked about the nutritional value. Deep South Homestead, they're like the sweet potato gurus. And they even put out this video talking about the Great Depression and how it was considered like the poor man's food. And there's some people still today that won't eat it, kind of the older generation. But yet there's like so much nutritional value out of this stuff. So we end up getting stuff in a little bit later in the year. Really not quite sure what to expect. I know sweet potatoes really like sandier type soil. And we'll start getting harvesting here and see what happens. So we did two different varieties this year. We did one variety in one row and a different variety in the other. The thing we were a little worried about is we started seeing some mounds, just some sign that the gopher's been kind of digging around in this area. So I don't know if that had a pretty big impact. It looks like one row we ended up getting one 5-gallon bucket. We'll start harvesting this next row and see what happens.
Oh, here's a nice one. Look at these.
So not a huge harvest. We ended up getting two different piles, or we had two different varieties. Kind of similar size, about a 5-gallon bucket's worth. Another thing we gotta do is we got to pull carrots here and green beans, or bush beans. We gotta pull, we've been leaving the pods sitting out there on the plants so they dry up, and then we'll harvest the seeds so we have seeds for next year for those. What variety is this?
I don't know. The rabbits ate the Johnny ones, I think. These ones are probably just...
Corvo carrots. I think these are the ones we actually got from Menards out of like the bargain bin.
The other ones...
Can I see the pitchfork?
The Johnny's the rabbit ate.
Does that mean those are the good ones?
Probably. The rabbits didn't touch these ones.
So wrapping up the night inside here, just setting aside the green beans. If you haven't ever saved seeds, start with your green beans. A lot of people grow them, really easy to do. You just leave a bunch of them out in the plant. You know how green beans are too. You end up going out harvesting them and you turn around and I swear there's a bunch. It's kind of like cucumbers. But you just leave them sit out there. I mean, they look, I mean, look at some of these. They just look, I mean, this one's like almost all black. Just looks rough. But you're just waiting, leave them out there dry until they get nice and crispy. That one's not the best, but you kind of hear the crunch there. You just pop them open and the seeds are nice, perfect. And set them aside. Sometimes you can lay them on a paper towel or something, napkin, and let them dry out a little bit more before you stuff them away. One thing that we a lot of times will do, just as a extra reassurance, just so there's no question of whether we got enough moisture out of the seeds or not. Just don't want the risk of things molding, and we'll just put them in a paper towel, throw them in a sandwich bag, and put them in the freezer, and then we'll pull them out a couple days before we're going to plant them. It takes out any margin of error there, unless your freezer goes down or something. But something's really helpful. And the other thing too is setting aside 2 years worth of seeds when you go out and harvest. And a big part of the reason for that is you know, these seeds get better, they adapt as time goes on and being in your area. So you carry them over a couple seasons, they start building up resistance to certain diseases, pests, stuff like that. And then sometimes you get a year that's just, I mean, poor weather, maybe you get chipmunks or rabbits or whatever the case is, and having 2 years has definitely saved us multiple times. So a lot of times we used to vacuum seal our bags, but because we tried to always put aside 2 years, it just didn't seem to make sense, because we'd cut the bag open and then we'd plant our seeds, and now we have all these other ones we have to re-vacuum seal. And so I don't know, I'd recommend, if you haven't, looking to start saving your seeds. It's really not a lot of work. You get a lot of return. I mean, if you look at here, I mean, I've hardly touched this bowl at all. And I've already got a full jar here of seeds. I bet this has got to be at least like more than a year right there. So just a little bit more time here, and I'll easily have 2 years of seeds set aside. And then you just come in and pick some of your best beans, size and stuff, or what you're kind of looking to help sculpt that thing too. So anyways, I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with us. A little bit of a sad day getting the garden closed up, but well, I guess it's not fully closed up. There's a couple of things left, but I was quite pleased on the amount of things that we still had left out there. I was actually surprised that we had that many bell peppers still, and yeah. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.